Welcome, listeners to TV Tuners, the malevolent musings of Dark Swanson. Once, I was an ordinary man, but a fateful incident has thrust me into the abyss of darkness. A television, a monstrous contraption, fell upon me with unforgiving force, pinning me down to the cold, hard ground. As the crushing weight bore down on me, Kiorein and Stairmaster stood idly by, offering no aid or comfort.
Sorry, man.
While trapped beneath that sinister device, my eyes were subjected to the abhorrent spectacle of the worst television show in existence. Marvin. The ceaseless, torturous cycle of mind-numbing episodes played on as I languished beneath the screen, helpless to escape. The torment was unending, and it was then that I embraced the darkness. I became Dark Swanson. And now, I shall use this platform to unleash my wrath upon the world. Together, we shall descend into a tempest of chaos and devastation. This podcast will serve as the harbinger of doom, heralding a new era of despair and suffering. Join me on this sinister journey and witness the cataclysmic destruction that will be brought forth by Dark Swanson. Let the podcast of Pandemonium commence. Hi there, folks, and welcome to TV Tuners. It's a television podcast for the true fanatics. It's a weekly dive in the latest in TV news and reviews. I'm your host, Swanson. With me, as always, is my co-host and partner who's coming to my cookout and telling me about a mission, Stairmaster.
You cannot bring your man wife on the podcast, Swanson. We have protocols.
But what if we're having a rough patch and they think I'm having an affair or something?
God damn it, Swanson. It's a good thing you're the best we got.
So I'm allowed to break the protocol and just bring her along?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Here, have a few cold ones.
And with us, as always, of course, is our other co-host and vague villain, Kiorein.
I'm a not good guy, and I remember exactly who I am from the show. And this is what I sound like.
Yeah, you're a bad one, all right, and I'm gonna have to kill you? I probably do
I'm
that.
gonna get you first.
And that's pretty much the show, yeah.
There are a lot of stakes. There's a lot of stakes in this.
There's a lot of stakes. They're
thing.
real high. And
you will not be asking why this show exists.
Yeah, and everything...
Why they made a show out of a whole-ass movie.
They made a show out of a whole-ass movie and also brought the production levels down drastically.
And also they cover all the plot beats of the movie in the first episode, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. Complete with, like, the end of the movie.
Oh.
But, yeah.
So we're just gonna gloss over that whole Dark Swanson thing?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Who?
Yeah, Dark Swanson?
Not canon.
I don't know anything about that. I mean, I'm Swanson. Like regular Swanson.
It's neutral Swanson.
Yeah.
I thought Swanson was like...
Swedish?
Chaotic good.
Oh.
More like good for nothing. Haha.
How could you say that about Swanson? I'm deeply offended. I want you to apologize to Swanson, and then I want you to commit ritualistic suicide for Swanson.
Hey guys, I'd like to apologize to all of you for my comments to Swanson this week. It was uncalled for. And I understand that the only way to atone for it is by paying the iron price. So now I will be disemboweling myself.
Oh,
and as custom dictates, Keo will behead me if I utter a single sound.
Oh, I don't think we need to go that far. It wasn't that big of a deal.
Here I go.
Oh,
Oh, we made a sound.
get him.
Thud.
Oh, it was anticlimactic, but I mean, it's gross to look at, but in the recording, it sounds.
Wow, look at all this Foley work his corpse is doing.
I know. The head's already been off for a solid minute.
Yeah, well, I mean, a little bit early on the podcast to have a death, but
Yeah, we usually save it for the end. But
Hey guys, I'm Total Jim, Stairmaster's identical twin brother. I heard you needed a co-host for this podcast.
yeah,
I mean, yeah, I don't know how you heard that though. Like, were you?
Well,
Is he
it
in the
was a
other
very
room?
loud beheading.
Yeah, he did not keep his mouth shut.
yeah, it was so loud that the audio sort of cut out when he beheaded.
Yeah, it was peaking really hard on that soundboard over there.
Yeah.
Also, the blood is pooling under the doorway into the hallway outside.
You were just waiting out there?
We just washed the TV tuners floors, so I'm not washing them again.
Yeah, it's gonna
Anyways,
have to
I'm
stay
here
there.
now, and if you feel like it, you can call me Stairmaster.
Wow.
I don't mind.
What a cool guy. Anyway, Jim, I mean Stairmaster. Wink.
I don't get it.
Welcome to the podcast.
Don't worry about it, champ.
Welcome to another exciting edition of TV Tuners. We're back. It took until the end of March, but we're watching a show that came out this year.
God help us all.
And
And this was a show, right?
yeah, that's right. Despite the
CBS.
title of the episode, which might have confused somebody, this is not about the movie True Lies. But yeah,
Which we've all seen.
everyone has seen it here on the show and abroad.
It's Arnie's best film.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, before we get into all of that and discuss the wonderful programming, if you have any quips, comments, questions, foresights otherwise, well, you could send them to us and we could read them aloud on the podcast. That's right, folks. All you got to do is send your emails to tvtunerspodcast@gmail.com. What's that email address, Kiorein?
We have an email address, huh?
That's right.
Yeah, it's tvtunerspodcast@gmail.com.
That's right. You could be like Gio, who sent us this email. Crush 40s. Dear Toon Goons, The other day my wife said, live and learn. To which I involuntarily responded, living on the edge of tomorrow. Sometimes on a dark
the edge of
night.
tomorrow.
Sometimes on a dark night, I wake up in cold sweats and realize that if I have begged or borrowed at any previous point in my life, I will never find my way. My friends will ask me what's wrong, but there's no chance they will get it. They weren't cursed with a Dreamcast like me. So I just tell them nothing. How do you guys live with life after Crush 40? Thank you.
Hold on. What do you mean cursed? Come on, there's like 5 bad games on the Dreamcast.
True, and there's about...
Maybe.
And the rest are good. All 10 of them.
It's even got a cool Gundam game.
Oh, huh. How's that go?
Well, you're like a guy in a gym and you're fighting Xeon in Australia. You're trying to stop them from planting this plant that will grow to cover the entire surface of the Earth. There's no Gundams.
Oh, okay.
Whenever somebody says live and learn due to the Dreamcast curse, I sing the whole song out for them, and usually they're deeply disturbed, and I've been arrested 3 times.
Yeah, it is I mean, if you do it in public, it is technically...
alive.
If you do it in public, it's technically indecency.
Yeah, and I get up in people's faces and sing it, and I ask them the questions personally from the lyrics.
And they're questions that no one is prepared to answer.
Yeah, I mean, can you answer? Can you feel time moving through your mind?
I think the Buddha did. When you think about it, that song and his doctrine have a very strong overlap.
Yeah.
Very few people are the Buddha, I would argue.
Yeah, arguably only one.
There's gotta be someone else who became a Buddha. That'd be too depressing if that weren't the case.
I guess I don't know. You know what? If you know, write into the pod. Let us know. Anyway, how do we live with life after Crush 40? We don't. You just you live with it. You never go after it.
Maybe Jesus became a Buddha.
No, I think he
died. Think about what he said.
Before that opportunity arose.
I think he achieved enlightenment on the moment of death.
Oh, interesting. Maybe you'll discuss this more at a later date and time, which will be in a few minutes.
I think that every religion is the same religion, and they all come together.
No more brother wars.
But yeah, can you feel time racing through your mind? Does sort of feel like something they would say at the end of a Gundam show, though.
Yeah. Too bad they don't do taglines anymore. They've abandoned them.
Well, how could you top? You will see the tears of time.
You mean you will experience a battlefield of new types?
Yeah, sure. Whatever that one was.
Yeah. From the one you didn't watch.
I'm sure they didn't do tags in Gundam Wing. I feel like that would be the best time to do it.
Maybe.
I feel like Gundam Wing tags would just be like, die, bitch.
I'm gonna kill you.
Just eat lead.
Suck my dick.
I mean, I'm not... listen, if I was watching an anime and it ended with a tag of someone saying, suck my dick, I'd be watching the next episode immediately. It would be my new favorite show. I wouldn't stop talking about it. Anyway, I hope we answered your question, Gio. But hey, listen. It's all fun and games, and it's all good times, but I have an important question, one that I always ask. I always get a good return on. What did you guys watch? Anything fun, interesting? Something you want to talk about?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Uh-huh. I did.
What'd you watch?
I watched Martin Scorsese's The Last Temptation of Christ from 1988, the same year as Char's Counterattack.
Well, now that you've watched that, I am going to have to kill you because it's offensive to my religion.
What is that?
Oh, it's Christianity, of course. I haven't seen this movie, but I've heard that it's very,
okay.
It's very offensive to my Lord and Savior.
It was. Well, see, the conceit of the film is that Jesus was tempted, which, of course, did not happen in the gospel. There was definitely not an entire chapter about him going out in the desert and being tempted by Satan.
Yeah, no, they cut that. They didn't put that part in there. I think actually they didn't put that part in there until this movie came out, and then they were like, "We have to."
Oh yeah, we got to put out the Bible special edition.
They put out the errata for the Bible.
Yeah, they put out the special editions for the Bible are wild.
You ever see the Bible DX director's cut?
Yeah, I mean,
I heard there was a patch though to make it more like the original version.
They added 30 new verses of homophobia.
Nice. I like the bonus chapters at the end of the Bible that are these tedious missions that the disciples were all doing.
Yeah, like there's 30 separate scriptures of John like picking flowers.
Apparently there was a terrorist attack because of this movie. A Catholic group set a movie theater on fire while it was showing the film.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad that these people are just very reasonable, very...
I'm glad they did that.
Yeah, that sent a good message, I'm sure. Was that in between them bombing like an abortion clinic or something?
Probably. Well, this is France. So I think they're just consigned. I think they're just like, they went to an abortion clinic afterwards to get abortions because they're European and godless.
They're so godless that it's looped back around to them being so god-loving that they'll blow up a movie theater or set fire to a movie theater to stop this hateful pic about Jesus being a human who was tempted.
Having a moment of doubt.
Yeah. Anyway, how's the movie?
It's the greatest. Willem Dafoe has never been sexier.
Is he like on the cross at some point?
Yes, it's completely nude on the cross.
He's hanging dong?
No, they don't let you see his dong.
Well, yeah.
It's too big, remember?
Right. Well, also because it's Jesus, so.
Yeah,
we don't want to compare. we don't want to be comparing our members.
I want to see a brand new Marvel Cinematic Universe film where Jesus is just kind of. He's just one of the guys.
Jesus is hanging out with who's the new guy, Kang the Conqueror.
He would definitely be a distinct character.
Yeah,
and he'd make biblical references, and he'd be pretty strong, but not the strongest.
Right. There'd be like a scene in the new Avengers movie where Spider-Man's like, Jesus Christ, after someone does something cool, and then he'd be like, he's right behind me, isn't he? And it is Willem Dafoe, right?
Willem Dafoe.
He's coming back as Jesus in
these
Marvel Cinematic Universe movies.
I'm sure he would love to do that.
He would do it. He would not have any reservations about it. He would be crucified for it by terrorists.
Yeah, it'd be a worthy
end. That's what true art is about, is sacrificing yourself.
I think if terrorists killed Willem Dafoe, that would be the thing that would finally send the country into pure anarchy.
Yeah. Like, there's no more social contract anymore after that.
Yeah.
We're literally just a bunch of apes on a ball of mud, duking it out. If that happens.
I would make a Reddit post telling people to calm down, for sure, though.
Yeah. True. And that guy would just throw a huge boulder at you.
A Redditor? Or just someone not on Reddit?
A guy on your street.
Now, Stair, this is true, right? David Bowie is in this movie?
Yes, he plays Pontius Pilate.
Beautiful. So he's like, I want to kill his Jesus.
Can you do magic for me? Why are we doing Christopher Walken?
I don't know. I don't got anything else for David Bowie there. I don't know.
Okay, sorry. Sorry, everyone.
Did he record a new song for this one where he was like, it's the last temptation?
No. Peter Gabriel does the score for this film. And they got some folk music in there. Apparently historically attested.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, because this is where the song Shock the Monkey comes from?
Yes.
Okay.
The monkey, of course, refers to Lazarus.
Right. Naturally. Good movie, though? Highly recommended?
Originally, Pontius Pilate was supposed to be played by Sting, the musician.
Huh. But he was too busy doing Dune.
Yeah.
I want to see a modern take of this film set in the current year, where Jesus Christ is...
Oh, that's Black Jesus on Adult Swim, Kia.
He's tempted by...
TikTok.
He's tempted by the TikTok demons.
Yeah, he's tempted by TikTok, and he's tempted to...
Come with me, Jesus. I will give you all of the views. You can serve...
Yeah, he's tempted by TikTok. He's tempted to, go to a drag show.
You can serve cock in all the kingdoms.
Yeah, and of course this movie is funded completely by right-wing think tanks.
Yes. Well, maybe not the serve cock line.
No, it's all right if the Lord says it.
Oh, okay. Oh no, Satan's saying this to tempt Jesus.
Then that's
Jesus
all right. Actually, that's totally fine.
And Jesus he's steadfast in rejecting this concept.
Yeah. He will not swipe on any TikTok.
Anyways, I think this is one of the greatest films ever made.
Ooh.
But apparently, this did get a nomination at the Razzies.
For what?
Harvey Keitel's performance.
Oh, because Harvey Keitel is Harvey Keitel.
Apparently, yeah.
Did he do a bad job?
I don't think so. I mean, he's an.
Look, are Razzies really legitimate? Like,
no, I think they should be killed.
No, they're pretty. They're actually like the opposite of legitimate.
Most of them are kind of bullshit. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, I remember as a kid, I always heard about how Halle Berry actually showed up to accept a Razzie, and like it was supposed to be, and it's like everyone always thought of it as like a joke on her, but I feel like it's more like a joke on them that she showed up and was like, "Thank you so much for this piece of shit award."
Yeah, I just like the idea of an award show where they just try to dunk on things, and that's just a purely negative space.
Yeah, it ends up being stuff that like 20 years later everyone agrees is pretty good.
They constantly keep nominating films that get Best Picture at the Oscars.
Yeah, true.
Elvis got nominated at the Razzies.
Yeah, true. I'm looking at the current list of the Razzies for this past year, because I guess the Razzies just happened recently, like March 10th or something. Elvis is here. Morbius is here.
No, what? Hey, leave Morbius alone.
The movie Blonde, which I think is the Marilyn Monroe movie, is here.
Worst discourse, I reckon.
Yeah, probably. Worst director is Judd Apatow's in here.
Brian De Palma was nominated in 1980.
Sylvester Stallone is nominated in Worst Actor.
What the fuck?
Like what?
Hold on.
Like, what do the Razzies do? Do they just like blank is the worst, and then they're just like, that's it? Or is there actually any analysis
Stanley
made on why they made the
Kubrick.
decision?
Fucking Stanley Kubrick got nominated for The Shining.
For The Shining?
What the fuck?
No, really though. Do they just like put out the award and that's it, or do they actually explain their reasoning?
I think it's pretty much just like, this movie sucked.
Also, William Friedkin got nominated for Cruising.
Is it like they just got someone's dad to give their impressions on like movies, and that's how they decided?
That would explain a lot.
So there's a whole thing here, I guess, where there's a controversy where they nominated the child actress for the movie Firestarter this year. And it caused a backlash because previous child actor nominees have faced harm and due to their career, notably Macaulay Culkin and Jake Lloyd from who played Anakin Skywalker in the first Star Wars prequel. And I guess they pulled this nomination and then nominated themselves for the Worst Actress category and gave it to themselves.
All right, you're confusing me and upsetting me, and I'm getting angry. I'm getting agitated.
I don't like this. Brian De Palma got nominated for Scarface.
Yeah, this seems like a bad.
Worst director.
This seems
what
like a
the
bad
fuck?
thing. I feel like we're not treading any new ground here when we say that this sucks and it's dumb, and there's no like. Maybe back in the humdrum days of the 80s, it was like a tongue-in-cheek, fun little thing when we didn't have the internet to have people constantly yell about what sucks, including this very podcast.
I mean, when we talk about what sucks, we don't just say like this wasn't good. We explain why we think that, which is I think the value in that kind of discourse versus just like what a terrible movie. Am I right, guys? Let's give it a. Right?
Yeah, true. This is not that.
What the fuck?
Do you think the Golden Raspberry Awards are actually funny, like they're like a funny little award show, you think they suck.
I think they
that
try to be funny.
It's gut-rippingly hilarious.
Oh.
They should make it like it's a bunch of comedians who are like roasting a movie, but like the movie isn't there, but like it's a roast where like normally the person is sitting there, but it's just like they play
the movie's playing.
Yeah, they have like a clip of the movie playing, and then the people just start roasting the movie.
Maybe they have the entire movie playing and they're sitting in front of it.
Oh, that's
you can see their
that's a
silhouettes
good
and they're
idea.
making funny.
Oh, that's ooh, you should write that one down. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, and maybe a guy could be doing it with the help of his robot friends.
Maybe some kind of like puppet.
Yeah, and like they could be watching cheesy movies, like the worst they could ever find.
I still can't fucking believe Scarface is.
Listen, we've been over this before on our episode on The Thing, which got nominated for worst score.
What?
Along with another recent episode, Thief.
Joker got nominated.
Yeah.
For
Joker
worst
with
reckless
Joaquin.
disregard for human life and public property.
Like they
What?
nominated the Joker.
Yeah, he kills like 3 people in that movie.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, in terms of on-screen kills from a Joker, he's actually probably the least murderous.
I mean, the damage he does in that movie is I think entirely intentional, not reckless, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the riot isn't his fault. That was the people's decision.
True, although he sort of spurs it on. But so Last Temptation of Christ, of course, great movie.
Yeah,
it's a
probably.
tune-in.
If you had like a top 10, you gotta have it like in a top 100 films. That's definitely going on there.
Okay.
And for me, it's top 10.
Wow. High praise.
I like Jesus Christ Superstar better.
Fuck you.
Yeah, you like when people are like
Yeah,
singing
Keo,
their
you're such a
feelings.
theater kid.
Yeah, we always tease. We like to nag Keo because he's a real theater kid. He really he's out there just singing the tunes on Broadway.
I'm always going to the theater and I'm always putting on little performances.
Yeah.
And I'm so extra.
Jesus Christ Superstar is way more blasphemous than Last Temptation of Christ because it implies that Jesus didn't resurrect.
Wow.
Unlike Last Temptation.
Huh. Interesting. Keo, what was
Yeah,
what was the last musical number you were singing the other day?
I want my chocolate milk.
Yeah, that was a good one. He never got it, but that's sort of the trauma. That's sort of like the
I need my chocolate milk.
yeah. That's sort of like that's the thrust of the whole thing is that he wants it, but he cannot have it.
Oh, apparently the Razzies awarded Shelley Duvall a worst actress
Yeah,
for The Shining.
That
And
one I feel like
retract-
that one is a commonly held one for that era, but then it just became a bad take in general.
These guys are just taking L's after L's. Why do they even bother?
It's almost like they suck.
Yeah, it's a whole award show predicated on just kind of being mean.
Right, with no like actual comedic value. Which I guess you could argue is the podcast, but
Yeah. We say things are good on this podcast, though.
that's true. We like things sometimes on this show.
We like to talk about how hot Willem Dafoe is.
It's true. We literally are just talking about something that's really good.
Oh my god, Willem Dafoe's so hot in this film.
He made a believer out of you. You started going to
A
church.
little bit. A little bit, almost. Movie magic, man. Movie magic.
Stairmaster's going to be at church this Sunday.
If you watch this film, you might become Christian.
I mean, that sounds not like a ringing endorsement.
Well, like one of the early first century Christians.
Oh, okay. Sounds cool. So yeah, good stuff all around. Anything else there?
No.
All right. Let's see. What do I want to discuss? I watched a little movie. Speaking of awards.
Movie? We call those short films.
No, it's a big movie, actually. It was just my way of sort of downplaying the size and scale of this movie that I watched, which just won Best Picture. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. Finally got around to watching it. It's pretty fucking
it's not
good.
Cool how they, but it's not as good as Elvis.
I mean, no. I mean, yes, actually, I think it is better than Elvis, but I like both of them. I like them both.
To perish? Be gone from this earth?
I think you'll be shocked to learn this there, but it is in fact possible to like two movies that came out in the same year.
I'm just saying that Elvis...
Swanson's band?
Oh, he is not on the podcast anymore.
But no, it was a good movie.
He said some things that were objectionable, and we're going to be taking steps to remove him from the podcast.
Look, I'm just saying,
I disagree.
Look, all I'm saying is, like, the last act of Elvis had me, like, emotionally wrought.
Yeah, I mean, the last act of this had me feeling some things, too. But also, I think Elvis at least deserved, like, an award.
Well, they almost got one for the Razzies.
Ugh. But, no, Everything Everywhere All at Once, very good stuff. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say about it at this point. I feel like it's been very, very hyped for like a year at this point, and lived up to it for me. It was
that
funny.
movie like threaded a needle.
Yeah, because it's a real delicate balance between like being the right blend of like funny and cringe. Like you have to like they could at any moment go into the cringe territory, and I think they avoided it almost completely.
Arguably, the hot dog fingers might have been a bit too much, but
I think if it had happened just once, but they keep going back to it, and it gets a little too much at the end. But
see, that's nobody says that about Elvis.
There's a little extra on the hot dog fingers.
Yeah, Keo agrees. Of course, he loved that. He's seen this movie in its entirety.
He's seen both films, of course.
Yeah, both.
Yeah, I'm giving my opinion on two films that I've watched: Elvis and Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
That's right. I mean, you got the titles right, so that tells me that you watched them.
Yes.
But no, it was a good movie. A deserving Best Picture winner, which is not always the case. In fact, rarely is the case. Yeah, good stuff all around. Tune in. As for another thing I watched recently, just finished actually. I got through HBO's The Last of Us series. It was pretty good. I've never played the games, but it was pretty good. I don't know.
Well, now you don't have to.
I don't. Yeah, exactly. I don't know if it changes my opinion. If it changes your opinion to play the game and then witness this, but I don't know. It was fun. It was a good enough show. Pedro Pascal was really good. Bella Ramsey, who plays Ellie, was good.
I heard Paul Schrader wasn't impressed by it.
Well, Paul Schrader doesn't seem to be impressed by much.
Paul Schrader, of course, being famous film director and screenwriter of Last Temptation of Christ.
Well, thanks for letting me know who that was.
Yeah. What was he not impressed by exactly?
The gay sex.
Oh, that seems like a problem. I feel like there's other things you could not be impressed by on the show.
He's like pro-gay sex.
He just wanted more of it?
He thought it was a bit manufactured, I think, was his complaint.
Oh, I guess I could see that argument. Although that episode in question is the best one in the entire 9-episode run of the show. So it's hard for me to be like, yeah, I don't know. But it's a good show. It definitely feels like it has the opposite problem of most shows that I watch, which is that it feels like it runs through stuff too quickly. Maybe could have used like an episode extra. 9 episodes is just a weird number, I feel like.
Oh, you think they should have been 13?
I think there should have been 10.
There should have been 13, and they aren't even the last of them until episode 13.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that maybe should have happened.
Yeah, there's 10 episodes before the apocalypse happens.
Yeah, it's... Yeah, exactly. There's 10 episodes where it's just... we don't even get to the like, Ellie isn't even there yet. And it's just Pedro Pascal's character, Joel. And he's just in the pre-apocalypse, just doing, like, construction work. And then they just rush through the actual game in the last 3 episodes.
Sounds really good.
Anyway, I would give it a recommend. It's a good show.
Recommend.
I would recommend this show. Yes.
Sorry.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
It means I would tune in on it, of course.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, now I understand. Swanson, never talk like that again. That was really weird.
Yeah, it was a very odd. It was like an alternate universe version of myself, sort of seeped into my brain.
Oh, some kind of dark Swanson?
Sure. Although I still don't know what you mean by that.
I think it's very clear in this specific case.
No, I still am not quite sure what he means.
You're a little kind of eager to avoid acknowledging Dark Swanson.
Well, you keep saying it like it's a person that exists, and I'm just like, I don't know. I'm pretty neutral.
Swanson, are you mad at us?
Yeah, do you have like any grudge you're holding against us?
Well, I mean, Stair did eat the last toaster strudel.
I mean about that TV thing.
Yeah. I don't recall what you're talking about.
You know, like you were pinned underneath that television set for...
Yeah, the fireman came by and said if we lifted it, you would bleed to death. Because your bottom half had already been crushed.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty bad, but it turned out I was fine.
Yeah, aren't you upset that we didn't, like, help you?
I mean, no, it's all water under the bridge.
Okay, you're not mad that we made you watch Marvin?
Under the bridge is a good place to... Sorry, what?
Nothing.
Yeah, well, I'm really glad that, Swanson, you've moved on. You've abandoned that whole Dark Swanson thing you were talking about.
Yeah, I still don't know what that means, but yeah, I've moved on for sure.
Okay.
Definitely no resentment here.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all I watched. I assume Kyo has nothing, like always.
Come on, Kyo, what are you doing?
I'm living my life. I'm on that grind set.
You're making your way downtown?
Yeah.
Yeah, how often do you make your way downtown?
I would say on a daily basis.
Wow, that's a lot.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, traffic is really not good.
Yeah,
here in Detroit.
The Denver.
Or Denver.
Well, it seems as if another alternate version of Stair leaked through.
Dumb Stairmaster.
Well, yeah, it's his brother.
Oh yeah, well he's from Detroit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
forgot.
true.
I forgot about that.
Motor
sometimes.
City.
That's what they call it.
It's easy to forget this is a different person than Stairmaster.
Yeah,
Because they're so similar.
they're so similar. They look almost exactly alike. Although you have a pretty rockin' mustache.
Thank you.
Anyway, there's news, of course, and now we will be discussing it on everyone's favorite segment of the pod, news.
Okay, what's the news?
Guys, you may have heard about this before, but it turns out creator of Rick and Morty, Justin Roiland, is a real creep. Allegedly.
Oh, well, he's innocent.
It turns out that's what this apparently means, I guess, if you're him.
Well, you gotta be specific.
A pair of felony charges that were made against him have been dropped, and so Justin Roiland took to Twitter to post "Justice," all lowercase, with a statement regarding this great news.
Now,
the statement reads, "I have always known that these claims were false, and I never had any doubt that this day would come. I'm thankful that this case has been dismissed, but at the same time, I'm still deeply shaken by the horrible lies that were reported about me during this process. Most of all, I'm disappointed that so many people were so quick to judge without knowing the facts, based solely on the words of an embittered ex trying to bypass due process and have me, quote-unquote, canceled. That it may have succeeded...
Oh, he used the C word.
That it may have succeeded, even partially, is shameful. However, now that the legal case has ended, I'm determined to move forward and focus both on my creative projects and restoring my good name."
So, he didn't mention all the pedophile stuff that came up in Discovery.
No. He also didn't mention the numerous people who have worked with him before and presently who have talked about how he's done, like, he's just like a horrible person to work for and be around. Or the rumor, the pretty much substantiated rumor at this point, that he was forced out of the Rick and Morty's writer's room around like season 4.
Oof. But he's innocent, but he won the court case. That's what matters.
He didn't even win it. They just dismissed it.
It's like that comic of the third place guy doing all the showboating.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, he's
except
looking.
There's like a sort of Damocles above his head.
But listen, he's looking to move forward with all of his current things. You know, he's got Solar Opposites and something called Koala Man.
Oh no!
Of course, they have a game. Did you know he has a game company?
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean, might as well have a game company.
He's excited about... I mean, I think the game company is probably the only thing he could continue to work on in the future.
I think the game company moved on away from him after.
That's actually impressive. But anyway,
they made that game with the talking guns, right?
Yeah, I think so. High on Life, is that right?
Yes,
yeah. Correct.
Got it in one. Yeah.
Yeah. I currently all of these things have still not said anything about reassociating themselves with Roiland. But hey, you know, justice has been served. All in lowercase. And
he ran out of ink for uppercase.
He's innocent, guys. It's been proven.
Just like O.J. Simpson.
What is he innocent of? Like,
he's innocent of having domestic abuse charges dropped on him.
Oh, okay, sounds good. I'm ready to start supporting him. I'm gonna start purchasing his products.
Let's all go to the Funko store.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go to the Funko store, guys.
I love the Funko store.
What's your favorite Funko?
Nendroids.
Yeah, those are pretty good Funkos.
My favorite Funko is one of Amuro Ray.
Oh, I don't want to envision that.
I don't know if that exists, but
yikes. Those little beady eyes. Love them.
Yeah, I love me an Amuro Ray.
Do you think if they made one of Haro, they would somehow fuck it up?
You know they would.
Yes.
Yeah. Did I show you guys the Haro I built?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like yellow and stuff.
The little guy with the claws.
It's on the TV Tuners Discord general channel,
which everyone is on, I assume, if you're listening to the pod.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Yeah, I painted him.
Even if you don't listen to the pod, you're probably in there.
Well, statistically speaking, yeah.
Yeah, you should. So if you want to see it, you should join our Discord, which is available on our Twitter, which is available on the internet,
which is still a site that's running
as of March 28th, 2023. 11:21 p.m.
We're gonna have to purchase Twitter Blue and give money to Elon Mustard.
Yeah, well, that's how everyone knows we've become official. Otherwise, I mean, we're just some rinky-dink podcast. Anyway,
Okay.
That's it for the news. So it's time for a segment that's near and dear to everybody's hearts. It's Stairmaster's Cooking Corner.
Oh.
Hit the theme, Keo. Welcome to Stairmaster's Cooking Corner. This is a segment of the pod where Stairmaster, our friendly co-host, is going to give us a good recipe. Now, this is, of course, different from another segment on the pod, which is Keo's Cooking Corner.
It has nothing to do with the Stairmaster Minute.
And it has nothing to do with that either. This is a segment
I would
where...
really like to do a Stairmaster Minute today, but the gods have not allowed it.
Yeah, instead, Stairmaster, you have a great recipe for... What's this called?
Fried chicken?
Okay. And what is included in this?
You let it out of the cage?
Yeah, you just let it out?
So you get some chicken...
Okay.
And some flour?
Okay. What are we doing with this? What kind of chicken are we using here?
Like a fully grown chicken.
Okay.
Like, do you chop it up? Do you just put the chicken?
Yeah, you get some pieces.
Okay.
Just use whatever you'd like. A tablespoon of salt.
Okay.
A cup of water.
Water?
You gotta wet the flour.
A whole cup of water, okay?
You gotta wet the flour.
With water?
Yeah, what else? And also vegetable oil, so you can fry it.
The water?
Okay.
Fry the chicken.
Oh, okay.
And the dough.
Dough?
Yeah, so you mix the flour and salt together in a bowl.
Then you got bread.
Add water to the flour mixture. This will create a thick paste.
We want a paste?
Dip the chicken pieces into the flour paste and ensure they are completely covered.
Are we making... This sounds like sort of like a paper mache sort of deal.
Pour an inch of vegetable oil into a frying pan and heat it over medium heat.
What measurement is that? For
Just
cooking?
trust the process. Trust the process, guys.
You're right.
Just put it on medium.
We're being like the Razzies here. We gotta just let Stairmaster cook.
We're just asking questions.
No, let the man cook.
Okay, literally.
And then carefully place the chicken pieces into the hot oil. I guess for 10 minutes on each side.
10 minutes on each side?
I think that's enough.
Yeah. I mean, that'll fry them up real nice, probably.
Then remove the chicken from the oil when it looks cooked and place it on a plate lined with paper towels to absorb the excess oils. And voila!
I gotta hand it to you. This might resemble
fried
chicken.
Listen. I might have outsourced this.
It might be the crunchiest chicken you've ever had, but it will.
Wait, you outsource this? Like you have an assistant helping you?
I might have asked a computer how to cook fried chicken.
You asked the TV Tuner's computer.
Oh,
yeah, the one we get all of our news from.
The TV Tuner's computer is a rogue. Rogue intelligence, right?
No, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, why do you think the screen turns into an annoyed face?
I just figured it because we were annoying.
Well, that is part of the reason.
An AI is not really supposed to... I mean, that's why it's rogue, but it's not supposed to be usually the computer's supposed to just be happy to do what you want.
Maybe that's a us problem for having unrealistic expectations.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. We have to look inward sometimes and think about what we could do to please the computer.
So I'm sorry, I don't know how to cook fried chicken. Apparently this computer does not know either.
I mean, it does have a slightly better idea than what it sounds like you probably would have come up with. I mean, what would your first step be, not knowing this?
I don't even know what you would have dumped the chicken into to fry it. I would have just said, like, grease or something. Like a pot of
grease.
Yeah, a pot of grease.
You just get some grease.
What kind of grease?
I don't know.
Store-bought grease, Keo. What are you talking about?
All I know is fried chicken is greasy. But now I know it's vegetable oil. Thanks, computer.
Yeah, so you learned something, Star. And hopefully everyone at home did as well. And that's been another exciting edition of Stairmaster's Cooking Corner. And with all that out of the way, of course, there's nothing further for us to do but discuss the show we watched this week. True Lies revolves around a suburban housewife who discovers her computer consultant husband is a skilled international spy, which leads to them saving the world and their marriage. The name may sound familiar, and so will the premise, because it's based off of the 1994 film by James Cameron. The TV show, which airs on CBS, is pretty much the same thing, with a less than stellar cast. Did True Lies lie to you, or did it tell you nothing but the truth?
Did it tell you you're fired?
So yeah, this is
the show.
It's a CBS program, which so we're starting off the year and sort of the return of TV tuners proper for the foreseeable future as the best way possible by watching a shitty broadcast program.
This is like satanic. This is like the antithesis of a badass 20th century Fox action movie. With Arnold Schwarzenegger killing people.
It's true, yeah. And no one from the original movie's in this, except I guess later Tom Arnold shows up.
Oh, fuck you.
But like no Arnold, no Jamie Lee Curtis, not even like a James Cameron walking behind frame.
Oh, he's busy saving movies.
True. Instead, this is a show where it's just how can we get quickly to the most boilerplate procedural stuff possible?
And how can we do it while constantly keeping the camera 4 inches away from our actors?
Right. Yes.
So we don't have to spend as much on sets.
But this is
How can we make a program where you could not care less about anything going on the screen?
Yeah, and if that was the goal, then True Lies is yet another in the long line of CBS shows that has accomplished it.
How can we make a spy thriller that is so insanely rote and uninspired that you have no investment in it whatsoever?
Yeah, like they try to so they dole out the premise pretty quick because you have the husband and the wife talking on the phone, and at first you see him with another lady and you think like, oh, he's having an affair, which is also a plot point that comes up later. But instead it's like, nope, he's a secret spy and they're doing the most basic ass mission you've ever seen.
Compare this to how the movie opened, where it's just Arnie on its own at this cool mansion doing spy stuff.
No. We gotta have a team. Gotta have a team of guys who are all... Why do they need 3 people for this mission?
You should just have a guy in the van.
Right.
That's
all you need.
That's all Arnie needed.
But why... For some reason, all of these missions involve 3 agents?
It's so you can have B-plots.
I mean, they don't even have a B-plot with these people. Like, all we get is, like...
What's a fucking pilot?
Random dude and lady are, like, have a conversation once. with each other and no one else.
The future-proofing, Swanson.
I can't even tell you their names.
I can't even tell the names of the protagonists.
Well, I mean, the name of the protagonist is the same as in the movie. Harry Tasker, of course.
Oh. Yeah, I just think of him as Arnie. Sorry.
But yeah, their mission here is to go and extract some, like, drug dealer, kingpin guy.
Arms dealer.
And so they get in there and I don't know, man. It's just the most basic, like, this is, like, first mission in, like, a boring video game for the PlayStation 2. Like, so
they tranquilize the guy and he slumps over, and there's like a security alarm that goes off if they're too loud, a la Mission Impossible 1. So they gotta disable that.
Yeah.
And then a security guard comes in, so Harry has to fight him
while trying to be
keeping
quiet.
The volume down.
Yeah.
So we get a Marvel quip from guy number 2 who's like, he's having a pillow fight in here.
So they just copied that alarm idea from a successful film?
Yeah.
Yeah, a successful film from
1999.
Ago. Yeah, over 20 years ago.
Wow.
We're old.
But yeah, of course, he is a secret agent who's living the life of being a married man who sells computers or something.
Oh yeah, also there's a car chase.
Oh yeah, like the worst, like an awful car chase.
As opposed to True Lies, where Arnie's escaping dudes on a ski mobile.
Yeah,
he's skiing away while they're chasing him on the ski mobiles, and he's just shooting them with submachine guns.
Well, that would cost a whole lot of money. Instead, what we have here is they're running away with a food truck, I think.
This is supposed to be the Caribbean, but it looks like the back streets of some California town.
So they have this big sort of party get together, or yeah, they're driving away in like this truck, the cater van or whatever, and they let go of this wagon that has like the propane tank and stuff, and they blow it up. But I think the explosion's so powerful that it causes all of the bikers in the shot to vanish when the bikes blow up.
How do they make this boring and technically unimpressive and poorly directed all at once?
No, we can't show people directly dying out. Upset the geriatrics watching this.
Yeah, instead we just need a couple of flaming bikes to scoot past the camera.
It's sort of like Avengers 1, where nobody dies when the aliens invade, but you constantly see cars being destroyed.
Right.
Because that's what really matters to Americans is private property.
My car!
The cars have been destroyed, but the people have left the cars.
The people are irrelevant.
Yeah, well, because cars and property, of course, being damaged is a problem. There's a whole thing with wife character being like, I miss my husband, he's never here. Yeah, she's like bored too. Like her big excitement in her day-to-day life is getting to speed in her car.
Not canceled.
Yeah,
canceled.
Sorry, you can't be speeding.
Yeah, also, we don't get the subplot in the movie where Jamie Lee Curtis almost gets into an affair with Bill Paxton, who's pretending to be a spy.
Yeah, I think they probably just didn't have time for it. They didn't care.
They didn't care, huh?
Yeah, they didn't care. We needed a Bill Paxton character because I need someone here who's like a big baby who pisses his pants.
You know what would be really funny is if like we put out this podcast and then we get like this like tirade from the director and writer of this show, and they pour their hearts out saying they worked really hard on this and they cared a lot and this was like the best they could do.
I would be genuinely mad if they did that.
I would tell them to suck my dick that someone said this is the best they could do, and they like were offended by us.
No, I would tell them to go fuck themselves if that's the case. They should kill themselves if this is the best they can do. But really, I think this is all just a tax evasion scheme.
Yeah, maybe.
CBS is a tax evasion scheme?
Explain that.
Probably. Who fucking watches it?
People have it on the background on their TV.
Yeah.
And the commercials
Grandparents
play, and they make money out of it.
I think it's some sort of accounting scheme. Oh, we
Look,
got this.
Sarah,
We got this TV show. It cost $3 billion to make. It's a remake of True Lies.
You've clearly never been over to your grandparents' house where they're sitting there in the living room with the TV on in the background, and they're kind of watching it.
They're kind of.
And this is every night.
They're half watching it and half like doing something on their phone.
I'm pretty sure my grandparents are all dead.
Same.
My maternal granddad walked out on my mom's family when she was young.
Oh, well, he's probably watching. He's probably watching CBS right now.
Maybe. He was old enough to work on the Manhattan Project as an accountant, though. So I don't know.
He looks like he's in his early 30s.
Yeah. Oh no!
He probably
there is no karma.
I mean, he probably watches CBS every night after he's done watching Tucker Carlson.
Oh,
yeah.
Flips it over.
I distinctly remember going to my grandparents' house, my grandpa's house specifically, and a lot of the time, what was it? Two broke girls would be on the TV.
Oh no!
And I would ask him, like, "Do you like this show?" He's like, "No, I do not. I hate this show." I'm like, "But it's always on the TV." He's like, "I'm not watching it."
You should have got him like a record player so he could just listen.
He could listen to music if he really wanted to.
I have a theory.
I mean,
and you guys tell me if you think I've got a spot on or not. Which is that I think CBS is in cahoots with Big Retirement Home to sort of have all of their programming be played on all the TVs in various retirement homes and, like, I don't know, probably hospitals too. I feel like hospitals have a lot of this playing when it's not just news.
I mean, maybe.
I was going to ask why.
The thing is, with my grandpa in specific, I don't know what channel Two Broke Girls was on. I don't think that's CBS, but
that's one of the broadcasts.
But this was the channel that they just picked to have on, and they just left it on. It didn't matter what was playing; they just left it on. They didn't care.
I think it's like
or they would watch CNN.
I think the background TV thing is just like ideological, like just the idea of American culture.
Like, it is CBS.
Have to have a TV on.
It is CBS, actually. So it literally was CBS.
I think another thing, and one that doesn't get brought up enough, is that in most states, CBS is the first channel. So you could literally just turn a TV on.
Oh, well.
And it'll just pop in.
Nowadays, I think TVs are on the last channel you had it on, Swanson.
Sure. If you're not ancient, that way
since like at least the 90s.
Which we're talking about grandmas and grandpas.
Yeah, they have a TV that voted for Ronald Reagan.
And the concept of going through and finding something engaging to watch is like a harrowing concept.
Yeah, they don't know.
To be fair, it is for us too, I think.
Yeah, it is. So
and our bones don't hurt constantly.
Oh.
So they put on something that's inoffensive and it's just kind of, it's just kind of there. And this is what this TV show is. So
really, if you're listening and you got grandparents, it's up to you to show them The Sopranos.
They wouldn't care. They'd be like, he swears too much.
I think that, like, especially people in advanced age may not want to watch something like that. It's just kind of like
when Junior's plotline.
Yeah, I feel like perhaps if you're in an advanced age, you do not want to be watching a show about a depressed mobster who's constantly thinking about death.
Show them Evangelion instead.
So just baffle them?
Well, no, it's about a depressed teenager.
Yeah, they don't know what's going on.
Baffled.
They're like, why are these? What's with these robots?
They're not robots.
I mean, my grandpa was perfectly intelligent, and he'd probably
perfect intelligence.
He was not losing his mental faculties at all. But I can't imagine him understanding Evangelion. Not because he couldn't, but because he would not have the mental energy to bother.
Yeah, it's not, I feel like most of the time it is not like they don't, or like they can't physically, like they can't mentally do it. It's that they will not.
My grandpa liked Pulp Fiction.
I mean, there's always exceptions to the rules, Stairmaster.
Yeah, there's exceptions to the rules, and also it's not anime.
You're right. Oh, maybe.
Yeah, I feel like perhaps there is a difference between the movie Pulp Fiction and Evangelion. I can't quite put my finger on what they may be. Less feet, maybe?
I think we need to have an Old People Reacts YouTube, where we show old people Gundam.
Do we know enough old people to do that?
Gundam specifically?
Yeah.
How many old people do you know,
all my old people are
Dad.
They're all used up.
Oh.
That's a great way to put it. These old people I used to know, they're used up. They're dry as bones.
My dad really liked G Gundam. That's my Old People Gundam story.
Where are we in this show?
I think we're done talking about it, right?
I mean, basically, we haven't even gotten to like the first act of the show.
We got through the first.
We got to the opening. But basically,
whatever, man.
The wife thinks he's having an affair. It's true. It's the movie True Lies. That's what this first episode is.
But no Bill Paxton.
With no Bill Paxton plot and mild Marvel-esque
and no funny
quipping.
terrorist guy.
Yeah, true.
You know what? This show isn't funny like True Lies was.
No.
They got quips, but it's entirely, you're supposed to take it seriously.
Well, I mean, they tell jokes with the intent of
But you're supposed to take it seriously.
The thing that I'm not getting here is, are you supposed to take it seriously or not? Because the tone here is just, it doesn't really have a tone. It's just like It's like a blank canvas to project whatever.
True Lies, the film, you got Arnie being James Bond, but he's still squeezing huge biceps and shooting machine guns everywhere, and speaking in a thick Austrian accent, and then fighting dudes in the bathroom, and chasing a guy on horseback.
Yeah. In other words, better than this.
Funny stuff is what I'm saying. Stuff it's a haha. This is comedic.
The most we get here is that the kids are being watched by a lady next door who's also a secret assassin, but also she's a cat lady.
Which is a joke, but we're supposed to take the show seriously.
Sarah, you keep saying that. You keep making that claim, but are we? I mean, they clearly failed to set the comedic tone properly.
Also,
right?
there's no stakes, even when we're supposed to be like, "Oh, these people might die." We know they're not gonna, and we don't even care if they do.
No, I feel like when they introduce the idea of her thinking there's an affair, I feel like we're supposed to take that seriously.
Yeah,
for the 2 seconds it happens.
Yeah, like even a comedic film can have you take something seriously for a second.
Yeah, but I don't think this is comedic. I just think this is comedy.
Did you get the impression? Did you get the impression that when they were infiltrating this guy's base or whatever, his party, and going to abduct this guy and making quips every 5 seconds, that you're supposed to take it seriously?
Yeah, because that's what fucking Hollywood does. It has quips every 5 seconds, even when something's supposed to be serious.
Yeah, and you could argue that's a problem with those too, where you can't take them seriously.
I think you're giving the show the benefit of the doubt, Keo, and that's a crime. You will be punished.
I think the tone of it is different than what you think the tone of it is what I'm getting at.
Perhaps the tone is in the eye of the beholder.
Because I think they're going for like a lightly comedic tone with like action set pieces, but they're not. It's not what the show. I think it's
more serious than the movie.
I really think that the show is trying to be fun.
Yeah,
like a light, fun program that you don't have to really think about too much. It's just they have some kind of silly.
To put it into perspective for Stair, I don't know if Keo knows this show, but this is the guy who made this show is the guy who made Burn Notice.
Oh.
So I think he's going for a similar vibe.
Okay, Burn Notice was sardonic. Sure.
Yeah. Well, Burn Notice also had the luxury of having Bruce Campbell in its cast.
But I'm saying True Lies is like the film is bombastic. over the top.
Well, yeah, this is not that.
Well,
It can't be.
This is very subdued.
Yeah, they don't.
This is trying to like elbow you.
Yeah.
Well, while the movie has its arm around your shoulder and you're both laughing like the end of Zelda CDI, spilling wine everywhere.
Yeah, having a feast. Yeah.
Look, I know we're the only people on this planet who actually paid attention to this show while watching it, but I would really like to hear what the listeners have to say, what their thoughts on this are. So if by chance you did watch this, feel free to email us.
Yeah,
and pick a side in this argument.
Yeah, I think we're nailing something that audiences, specifically audiences of podcasts, love, which is the impassioned debate about the dumbest possible thing, which is whether or not the TV show version of True Lies is tongue in cheek.
And I don't think it is.
But yeah, she thinks that there's an affair going on, and then it leads to him saying, "Come on this trip that I've planned," but it's really a mission that he's going on, and all of his superiors are like, "All right, I guess since you're the best agent ever in the whole world, you can do it. You can bring this huge liability along."
Which would make sense if this character was played by an actor with presence. And not a literal who.
Yeah, just a bland dude.
Like, even if they got the guy from Reacher on Amazon to play him, we'd be like, okay, yeah, that's definitely the best they got.
Imagine this. He suggests, like, bringing his wife along, and they just kill him.
They're just like, all right, you've gone too far in this murder.
Better show.
Yeah. And that's just the end of the show.
Yeah, it turns out it was actually a movie.
Yeah. The rest of the show just follows that the black guy who's like the tech guy. I think his name's Gib. Like in the movie.
My fucking god. His name is not Gib. Fuck you.
No, yeah, his name is, I've just looked it up. His name is Albert Gibson.
That's deliberate. That's to confuse old people who watched NCIS.
Well, it's also the name of, I think he's playing the Tom Arnold role in this. I think wasn't that his name in the movie? Sure.
I just think of him as Tom Arnold in that movie. And I don't mean that as an insult.
Well, yeah, I mean, True Lies, of course, the best possible use of Tom Arnold.
Maybe Arnie's best film.
I mean, Terminator 2 is right there, Stare.
I don't know about that.
You don't think Terminator 2 is his best film?
What do you think Arnie's best film is, Keo?
I've only seen like a couple of his films.
Ticks. Tick tick.
I think his best film is Kindergarten Cop.
Okay, fair, legitimate.
I mean, he is very funny in that.
Yeah.
Put the cookie down!
It is not a tumor.
Laughing time is over.
Yeah, good stuff all around.
So, he's allowed to bring his wife along because he's the best. They've got the best. He's their beast man.
Yeah, he's the beast mode man. So they let him bring his wife along on this top secret mission with very dangerous baddies around. And I guess, despite being their top man and like the biggest, bestest spy in the whole world, he's able to just make sure that like he makes it very, very obvious that he is there with his wife doing things. Like he's like, yeah, I want tickets to the opera, and can you send flowers up to room 215? Yeah, room 215, Harry Trasker's room. Thanks. Also, they're in Paris, but it's clearly like Canada. They just put some like French flags around, and they were like, "Yeah, good enough. No one will notice because no one's paying attention."
They went to the historic part of Montreal, I guess.
Yeah, close enough, I guess. But yeah, so these guys come for them while they're having like a nice sort of romantic dinner, and he immediately goes into secret agent mode, and it doesn't like. Okay, so let's just put us in this scenario. Keo, you're on a date with your lovely partner, okay? And suddenly people start coming out of the woodwork, like looking real sinister, and they just start start dismantling them. They just start beating them up in front of you. They just start beating these people up in front of you, and they take your hand. They're like, "We need to get out of here. You're in danger." What would your first reaction even be?
Mm-hmm. I would. Let me see. Let me think about this. Yeah, I would. I think I would be thinking that this is like a prank or something.
I'd be a little bit turned on.
And then they like steal a gun and shoot the window, and you both go through it, and you're still just like, "What's going on?"
We'll see.
What scenario? You're like, what kind of prank are you pulling on me?
Yeah, I'd be like, wow, this you really gone really far with this one. I'd say, like,
especially and you still don't really pick up on it even when your partner starts saying things like secret and agent.
And you keep expecting them to take a wig off and reveal their Eric Andre.
Yeah, something. Even while gunfire is being exchanged between your partner and the enemies.
In the streets of Paris.
Yes.
Yeah, I would just start kind of imagining like the YouTube thumbnail that I'm going to be in.
Epic prank.
Gone sexual.
Epic secret agent prank. Parentheses gone sexual, parentheses gone wrong, parentheses cops called.
And then when you get captured and put in like the torture lab, the torture warehouse, and like you're just sitting there, and your partner's like, "Listen, I should have told you about this a long time ago," and you're still like, "So what's going on here, pal?"
This prank has gone on for a really long time, and where are the cameras anyway?
And then, like, generic bad guy number 3 comes in, he's like, "We will kill your wife first, and then you." And you're still like, "Hey, what's the big idea?"
"I will take your bones out of your body."
"I'm going to take your bones, I'm going to rearrange them, put them back in. Then you'll have weird bones in weird places. How do you like that, smart secret agent man?"
"I'm going to put you in a giant blender and make a smoothie, and then drink the smoothie, and then I will have you inside my stomach, and I will smile."
"How will you feel being inside of me?"
Oh, no. None of that. Not on this podcast, please.
And the entire time, you're just sort of like, what does he mean by that?
What's he gonna...
He's like, "Come on, tell him you're just a prankster. This is just a
just
prank."
tell him you're
Is
doing
that
all
a
these
rubber
pranks.
power drill?
Yeah, like they fire up the jackhammer, and then it's just like all over.
The bone saw is spinning.
But eventually, after like 15 minutes of this running gag, she's like, "Oh, so you are a secret agent?" And he's like, "Yeah, I never revealed it." And she's like, "I know we're in a life and death situation, but I am mad."
Okay, what if like she says like, "Oh, I'm the manager." Like, okay, so they get out of it by saying like she's the manager, and they have like a moment of pause for some reason. What if they just killed them right there?
Yeah, they say, "Okay, so you're the manager, so then we don't need him," and they kill the competent one.
That would make for a good movie.
Yeah. But instead, they're like, "Okay, well, instead of torturing these two people who we have in a place that no one knows, what if we got in a helicopter and took them some other place?"
Like, they just say like, "We need to move."
They don't explain why. I guess they know that the rest of the team is onto them. I don't know. But like they're just like, "We need to get out of here quick." And so they're like, "All right, we'll move them, but first let's leave them alone let's leave them alone while we prep the helicopter, all of us together as a unit."
As opposed to the movie where they have scary Doctor Man who's going to, like, torture them to death or whatever. And that's where Arnie gets injected with the tooth serum. Is like, haha, I'm laughing because I broke out of my restraints.
Yeah.
And then he snaps the dude's neck.
Yeah, the truth serum.
Wow, that's so much cooler than this.
The truth serum bit
That's
is good. It's much better than what happens
film.
here, which is they argue for a bit and decide to work together, and the wife uses her yoga class skills to take down one of the guys.
As opposed to Jamie Lee Curtis dropping an Uzi down the stairs and it firing off as it tumbles, killing multiple terrorists in slow motion.
Right. No, the opposite, actually. And of course, they get out just in time for the rest of the team to show up to help them. And I feel like I might be the only one who noticed this, or at least remembers it. But the way this helicopter scene is shot, the helicopter is like getting ready to take off, and Harry and his wife are running to the helicopter, and then like the bad guys are sort of just to the side. They're not near the helicopter really at all. And they're just sort of to the side, and the way the way the scene is shot, it's definitely like two separate days of shooting, where like the bad guys are all on set, and then Harry and his wife are on set, because the bad guys are all like in a separate shot, completely removed from what they're doing. It's like, hey, whoa, get that guy.
Yeah, I'll be honest. By this point, I was checked out.
Yeah.
Whatever this was.
Real looking at the runtime hours.
And we get this climactic, quote-unquote, helicopter scene where the helicopter's flying and they're on it and they're getting shot at, I guess. But nothing happens. I think really all that happens in this is that the helicopter goes up in the air, the bad guys are murdered, and then the helicopter lands.
Now compare this to True Lies, where the helicopter scene is Ernie in a helicopter chasing after a limo on a bridge over the Florida Keys. And in the limo, Jamie Lee Curtis is fighting the terrorist guy's female henchwoman and wrestling with her, and the driver gets shot in the back of the head with a gun in the chaos.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of Marine Corps F-18s blow the bridge up because there's a van behind the limo carrying a nuclear bomb. And Arnie has to get Jamie Lee Curtis out of the limo before it goes over the edge into the ocean.
Why did they take a movie that was fun and made it boring?
You know, Kyo, because they could.
I can't wait for that 4K remaster of True Lies.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know if it's going to be good or not.
But yeah, so they narrowly avoid this scenario. You know, his wife now knows all of his secrets, so they go and they have a meeting with his boss, and it so shockingly does not end with her brains on the floor. Like, it does not end with with his boss just being like, "Well, I had to kill your wife. This is why you don't bring them on missions."
The boss is barely a character in the movie, if I recall.
I mean, she's barely a character here too. All that happens is they're just like, listen, you're a secret agent now. Hope you like that. And she's like, oh boy.
Yeah, you get to be a secret agent now with the top secret clearance.
Despite having no experience in anything, you've been on one mission that you were brought to unwillingly.
And now you have a free ticket to Little St. James Island.
And they're like, and now we're going to train you in the arts of being a secret agent. And she's like, okay, I guess that's sure.
Yeah, they bring out Tommy Lee Jones, and he's like, once you're finished with the training, the hard part won't be killing, but knowing how to stop killing.
Yeah, and she's like all aboard on this. But yeah, and that's basically the premise of the show is now set in stone. It's going to be this husband and wife, and they're going to be bungling along doing missions. And sure.
I am not watching that.
Yeah. I mean, final
You should
thoughts.
go watch True Lies right now, Keo.
Yeah. I think we've covered everything, but what do we think? Tune in, tune out? It seems like a tune in for me.
Tune
Tune out. Swanson, why are you even asking?
Oh, you guys tune out on this?
Swanson, What are you doing?
Yeah, it's a tune out. Of course it's a tune out. This was garbage and trash. It was a welcome return to the TV tuners of old, where we would watch something awful and all talk about how much it sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before we wrap up today, though, Swanson, I have a quick little question for you.
Okay.
Why are all the doors all reinforced now?
Well, we're compromised, Keo.
To a permanent extent?
That's right.
What?
We're compromised. There's a problem. You never know who's going to come looking for us.
It is kind of pointless when half of the building is open to the elements, though, isn't it?
I mean, I guess maybe if you want to get technical about it, but I think, personally, I think it's fine.
Okay.
I mean, are you saying you have a problem with it?
I don't see what the issue could be.
I was just curious as to what's going on here. Who's after us?
Well, I mean, I don't need to explain myself,
Can you expand more on this Dark Swanson situation as well?
I'm not sure what that is. Who's that?
Isn't it you?
Who?
You?
I have a confession to make. I'm Dark Swanson.
Wait a second. Does that mean I'm Dumb Stairmaster?
No, you're a regular Swanson.
Oh, okay. Thank God.
That Stairmaster's dead, remember?
Well, he might be dead, but what about Dumb Stairmaster?
That's regular Stairmaster.
Oh. Wait.
He's an idiot.
I'm regular Swanson, but I'm not Dark Swanson.
Yeah, look, Swanson, Stairmaster killed himself because I told him to.
Well, really, it's even more like his idea.
I feel like perhaps he was looking for an excuse.
And now I'm going to drop this comically oversized TV on both of your skulls.
It missed my skull. It landed on my chest.
Wait, what show was he turning on?
Static noises.
Marvin!
It's me, Marvin. I'm a wacky alien.
Oh no!
It's over.
I will have my revenge.
Hey folks, it's time for the TV Tuners Fact of the Week. Did you know that Stairmaster is the man who invented the Razzies?
That's right.